Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Angelo Reynolds, and I'm a former alcoholic.
Morning, Angelo.
I know that threw you off, but it's okay. Welcome to the Transformers Academy. And in fact, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I got to where I am today, how it's important. And as I'm talking, I want you guys to think about transformation, the word transformation, and how that word is going to benefit where you are now, but more importantly, where you're going. And so just think about it. I'll talk to you. And every time I say something, I want you to think about transformation. And the word transformation is so vital for all of us because there's 5 things that I always keep in mind. And I want you to place yourself somewhere in these 5 realms of transformation, okay? Relationships, careers, health, education, and spirituality. That is what the transformation is really about. Because when I think about transformation, I think about an evolving process. Have you ever thought about you being one place but wanting to go to another? And that's what we're talking about. Getting from one place to the next in the most efficient way. The way that's going to benefit all of us. Okay? So, the Transformers Academy is where I began this whole journey. My transformation began years ago. Have anyone, don't answer, if you've ever been in a transformation, have you ever been in a place where you needed to grow, but you did not? And so I'm sure that we all have a story. Your story is beneficial to others, but the problem many times is we become shameful. We become shameful of life occurrences, the obstacles, the challenges, and all the things that come with growing up. So I come from a small place about 3 hours south of here called Tidewater, Virginia. P-Town is what they call it, Portsmouth, Virginia. And so born and raised there in the projects years ago by a single parent. Dad left when I was 3 years old. In fact, it's amazing because I can sit here even today at the age of and see my dad leaving. In fact, the words that came out of his mouth was, "I'm leaving and I'm never returning." 3 years old. Candidly and vividly see it right now. So the impact there, little kid, remembering those things and the abandonment followed me later on. Stay with me because I'm going to be transforming the whole time. Just stay with me. Later on, mom trying to raise kids in the projects on welfare, trying to make it, trying to do her better herself and take care of 3 babies in the projects. Then I was traumatized, sexually abused around the age of 8 or 9. Don't know when it happened. So traumatic. I can know what happened, but I can't tell you exactly when. I'm transforming. Stay with me. Sexually abused at an early age, identity confused, unsure, scared, frightened, embarrassed, courageless, but need some direction. I'm transforming. Stay with me. So if you come from a place where some traumatic things happen to you, I know where you've been. If something has happened to you but you don't talk about it, I know what you're feeling. But it's about this movement of transformation is what's really, really important. You see, I was the kid who was at risk. I was the kid that they said by the age of 16 or 17 that I would die or be incarcerated. It wasn't until later on I became incarcerated. We'll talk about that too. I was the kid that they said was an angry black man in the 70s, as they used to call us. I was angry. I was still angry for a long time, especially at my father, especially for the people who hurt me. But it wasn't until I began to transform for forgiveness. Okay. Stay with me, I'm transforming. So I decided, like many people who are at odds, who are against the odds, that I needed to do something. I wanted to make sure that I could be an example for others, regardless of what happened. My mom worked really hard. She was an alcoholic, drug addict. I saw her pull her hair out. She had a nervous breakdown. I said, what are we supposed to do now? My brother began selling drugs at an early age. We got put out of the projects. In fact, the notice came that day from school and I read it. Actually, by the way, I couldn't read it because I was functionally illiterate. Couldn't read, couldn't do math, couldn't write. Had no idea. All I saw was eviction. Didn't know what that meant. I had to ask my neighbor. He said, y'all getting put out. The letter said something to the degree that it's suspicious activity that your son or daughter is eliciting illegal activities and you have to leave today. My mom came home from work, saw the notice, called my brother. You got to go. He said, go where? You got to get out of here. We don't have anywhere to go. Read this letter. He was also functionally illiterate. She said, you got to go. Pack your things, you got to go. She put him out. He was 16 then. So here I am, traumatized again. My brother and I, close sister, they were twins, brother and sister, they twins. Now he's out in the wilderness. Now he's going to do what he really wanted to do, and that was to sell dope at that time. He's scratching his head. I didn't scratch my head. I'm mad at my mom because she put him out, but we had to have somewhere to stay. I'm transforming. Watch out for this. I'm thinking to myself, this can't be real. Mom can't stop drinking. She can't stop drugging. All kind of people coming to the house, prostitution, all that stuff going on in the confines of little babies. What is going on? Learned behavior. If you're here today and you had some learned behavior, stay with me. Because it's so hard to break those barriers of things that you learn because you don't know anything else. So I said, you know what? I'm going to escape this. And because the portion of transformation of spiritual connectedness to a higher power, which I truly believe, I was a praying boy. Yes, sir. I was a praying boy. And so if any of you all know about a higher creator or a power beyond man here, you know about the power of prayer. And so I began to pray. I began to get on my knees. Didn't even know I was talking to a higher power. I said, but please relieve me. I'm in so much pain. He already knew the pain. But I said, you got to help me or I'm not going to make it. So long story short, decided to get out. Decided to do myself. The number one thing that I decided to do was to remove myself from a toxic environment. You don't have to raise your hand, but if you've ever been in a toxic environment around toxic people, you know what I'm talking about. When everybody and everything around you is toxic. When the situation that you're trying to do something else, you don't know how and you don't have any support. That's what I'm talking about, transformation. Wanting and having the desire to do something when you don't know which way to go. So I say, you know what? I got to do something. Something has to change. I don't want to be a statistic, but I'm headed that way. Long story short, speed it up. I got a chance to go to college. In fact, my interest in college, I think about my kids today, they have it so much easier because I knew nothing about college. Back then, if you all are probably around my age, 40-some years old, you would know that. Back then, your mother said you either get a job, go in the military, or go to college. That's what she said back then. Those were the options. All my buddies were going to the Marine Corps. I couldn't read and write. How could I go to college? There's no way possible. I tried anyway. I got in. Went to a little small college in North Virginia called Norfolk State College back then. Got in. First semester, they sent me a letter. We're going to kick you out. You get no more federal money. They had a Pell Grant back then. But because we were under the poverty level, I could get grant to go to school. They said, you can't keep a C average. I said, I can't pass the math. I can't read. They said, we don't have anything to do with that. Some kind of way, I go back to transformation again. I go back to realizing that there's something more powerful than me being here and failing out and not moving forward. Have you ever been in a place where you knew there was a higher level of connectiveness, but you just couldn't get there? You were trying so hard and the odds against you were so strong. And you began to question yourself. You began to question your existence. You began to turn to drugs, alcohol, and all those things. See, I started drinking at the age of 15. See, my mom had parties, and I used to wait till they leave the house and go out and drink the booze. That's how I started. Because it tasted good, but then it wasn't so much the taste. I like getting high. Because when I drank that Jack Daniels and that vodka and mixed it at the same time and drank some Budweiser right behind, I started smoking cigarettes, and I liked the feeling. That's what made me feel good. Because at that point, I'm combating the pain of being abused and abandoned. So I learned early on that this is the way it makes me feel good. Why not continue to do this? Why not continue to make me feel good? No one else is. I don't have anybody else to talk to. Have you ever been in a place where you didn't have anybody to talk to? You don't have to answer. Have you ever been in a place where you felt all alone? It's a very lonely feeling. So I had a long story. So I got through college, got out, graduated through the grace, and found myself out in the world. See, by education and training, I'm a psychologist. They said, how'd you do that? And you couldn't read. You ever met a young lady, guys, who you fell in love with, not necessarily because of beauty or physical characteristics, but because she was smart? Because they were intelligent, which women are far beyond greater intelligence than men can ever imagine. Fell in love with a young girl. She taught me how to read, write, spell, do math, all that stuff. I said, you know what? This is not as bad. This is not as challenging as I think it is. So I got through college, Here's the transition, transforming, moved. I'm still trying to get to a place of escaping. Because I think if I leave here, home, and go somewhere else, the problem's going to go away. You know they didn't. You know they didn't. Now keep in mind, back when I was growing up, we didn't go to counselors. You didn't go to social workers. You didn't go to get treatment. You didn't do any of that thing because it was considered weak. You don't talk to anybody about what happened here to someone you don't know. And so with that, holding things inside, what happens? Alcohol use, drug abuse, all kind of addictions, all kind of behaviors, all kind of activities of things that translate into your mind out into behaviors. And that's what began the whole journey. So I came up here, finished college, and then I'm like big time. Because I'm the first in my college to graduate with a college degree, generation-wise. This is good. Things are going good. But you know how you want more? And I want you guys to think about something, because when I close out today, there's 3 things that I'm going to give you. Don't ever forget these 3 things because they're universal. And I guarantee you, it's no mathematical formula, but I guarantee you if you begin to try some of these 3 things, at least one of them, you'll begin to work for you. So I said, you know what? If I can get a bachelor's degree, I can get a master's degree. Didn't even know what that was at the time. Went on to further school. Became a psychologist. Here's the transformation again. Got married. My daughter's 25 years old now. Got married, stayed married 3 months. My daughter was gone with her mother. She took her and went to South Carolina. So now here I am abandoned again. My own child. Same thing that happened to me again with my own child. So now I got this abandonment feeling again. So what do? I drink even more. I use drugs. I drank even more because I'm combating the pain. See, I know the pain that you felt. I know the pain that you may be feeling right now. But what I do know is that pain can diminish. It will diminish. It's going to take some work. See, I couldn't put that bottle down for a long time until I began to get to the root. That's why the mental health piece, the counseling, goes along with the codependency. Because you got to get to the root of the problem. We'll talk about that as I close out. So I'm inspiring now. My chest is big because I feel like I'm doing something. I'm accomplished here. So then I began to learn over the years, you know how you say, well, you know, I'm not going to drink as much. If you tried to quit before, you tried to quit drugs or alcohol, I'm just going to drink a little wine, a little beer. That ain't going to hurt me. But I'm a full-fledged alcoholic since I was 15. So I'm thinking now I'm going to smooth it over, do a little happy hour here, and just kind of, but I'm still a drunk. Excuse my language. I'm still an alcoholic. I got to drink. It never went away. So then I go on the police department. Matter of fact, I'm a former DC police, spent 5 years in the era of crack cocaine coming down the pipeline in the early 1990s. You guys are old enough, you remember that DC was the murder capital at that time. In fact, crack cocaine had come from the pipeline, the West Coast and from up north, and terrorized the neighborhood. That's all we had, crack cocaine. Spent 5 years on the police department, decided I need another transformation. Stay with me. See, I'm still moving. This is what I want you to realize, that you are still moving. Even in a place where you're stagnated, stuck right now, temporarily, you're still moving. And your body may be here, but your mind could be moving. Transformation, we're moving. Left the police department, decided I want to go study. When they got a doctorate degree, who would have ever imagined going to graduate school getting a doctorate degree? You got to be kidding me. That was almost unheard of for me. There's no way I could have gotten a doctorate degree. You couldn't even read. How can you get a doctorate degree? I worked hard. I learned everything I can. I did all those things and worked really hard. So here's the big catalyst here. Because I know y'all saying, where's he going? This is the big piece. Transformation. Remember what I said. Relationships. Married one time for 3 months. Got a daughter. Career. Left the police department. Became a psychologist. Health. 60 pounds overweight from drinking abusively. Spirituality. Started to question the higher power. Was there somebody higher than man here looking over me? And my relationships dwindle. You know how it is. You have bad relationships because our behavior, some of it, not you, my behavior was so bad, ran people away. So now, I go out, I want to start my own business. Some of you are right there have thought about starting your own business. I know. You started and you stopped. You began, you stopped. You've been thinking about it, but you won't put it on paper yet. You're talking about all these ideas you got, and you guys are sitting on multi-million-dollar businesses right now. Doesn't matter what you want to do. You're sitting on multi-million-dollar businesses right now. But because of the setback, because of the challenge, because of the fostering of a distorted mind, it's impossible right now. We're transforming. Because I know you guys are moving. And when you leave here today, if you don't take nothing else from me, remember that you are always transforming. And you are in control of your next transformation. So I started this outpatient mental health clinic. I'm licensed as a psychologist. Started a clinic, started a business. Clinic is when I get a chance to treat people with mental health disorders, alcohol, substance abuse. I'm still drinking myself, right? So I'm a contradiction. Got people coming to the clinic, coming to get mental health counseling, alcohol addiction, but it was my place. So then, here's the catalyst. I decided to partner with some people. You got to be careful who you, as they say, partner with. I use that terminology. Partner with some people, unfortunately, who are committing fraud. So now, bam, I'm traumatized again. Because now the AG's office is investigating them, and come find out they stole $8 million of Medicaid money. So I said, I'll never forget the day. I was home, my wife, she coming upstairs, she said, there's a white lady at the front door from the AG office. What? She got the wrong house. No, she said she want to talk to you. About what? About Medicaid fraud. She's Medicaid fraud you. You need to tell her. Honey, why didn't you tell her she got wrong place? Because she got a summon right here to talk to you. Come find out, people that I partnered with was stealing Medicaid money. They was, say they seeing clients, they were billing Medicaid. Over $8 million they made doing that. One of the biggest Medicaid scams in the state of Maryland. So guess what? I'm the owner. Guess what? You get charged. It's what I call victim of circumstance. So we got to charge someone. So that went on for a few years. So now, here we go. Everything exacerbates. That means that everything becomes heightened. Because now I'm back in turmoil again. I'm back in turmoil. So now the syrup is getting heavier and heavier. Now I got 2 babies that I'm raising and a wife. But the drinking don't go away. So now, 6-8 months later, a year later, they shut us down. Investigators. You all know anything about federal investigation. Take them years to get you. Take them years to collaborate, everything they want to do, and finally they come and get you. Well, they finally came and got me. And they say, look, here's the deal. We got you on 42 counts of Medicaid fraud. You're looking at 5 to 10 years. However, we'll give you a plea agreement. If you take a plea agreement, alpha plea. I don't know if you're familiar with alpha plea. If you take this plea, we'll reduce everything, drop it down to 1 count, you can do house arrest. Heck no. I ain't steal no money. Somebody stole some money, but I didn't. See, the one thing that I learned so diligently as early as a little boy, my grandmother used to say always, all the time. She said, you don't have to be a product of your environment. In other words, you don't have to act and perform the way people portray people in the Projects be. So I learned that. Not to steal from anybody, not to kill, not to rob. So I'm saying to myself, you got to be kidding me. There's no way. Government said, yes, it is. So what you going to do? They gave me 3 months to make a decision. Say, I tell you what. AG said, look, you got 42 counts. We only need 1. You're looking at 5 to 6 years in prison for 1 count. And we got the evidence. So the judge, after reviewing the case, they knew who was committing fraud. But guess what? You become a victim of circumstance. Now, here I am again, a victim of another circumstance. What do? Drink even more. By the time that happened, I was a full-fledged, walking, functional alcoholic. Could not control not 1 drop. Call myself going from vodka and gin to beer. Call myself going from light beer to Yuengling. Call myself going from Coors to Red Bull. I'm a full-fledged. I'm trying to get high any kind of way I can. Because I'm combating pain. See, I don't know where your pain is, but I know you try to combat it. So now at this point, I say, look, Your Honor, I go in front of the judge. Never forget it. He's standing right about where that gentleman is. I stand in front of the court. He said, how do you plead? This is killing me right now. I mean, I'm burning up inside. My wife standing over here saying, you got this is some crap. Your Honor, I said, but I got to say something. You can tell I talk a lot. He said, what is it, sir? I said, I got to tell you, Your Honor. And I turned around. This is the judge. This is the people in the court. I say, Your Honor, he back there. I said, I'm going to take this plea, but I didn't steal any money. I came here to help children. He said, first you need to turn around. Everybody, I turn around. I said, I'm going to take this plea because I got a family. I don't want my boys to be left alone. They depend on me. Bam. All right, 5 years. Suspend all but one. Put them on house arrest. I was on house arrest for a year. So now, keep in mind, the transition of going from fully employed, my own business, to now felony conviction. Now I have no job. Cannot get a job. You know how long that lasted? 6 years. So the judge says, the AG officer, I tell you what, if you take this plea, do 5 years probation, if everything works out, you come back at the 5th year, and if everything is okay, you ain't been in no trouble, we'll drop the conviction. 5 years. In the meantime, I can't get a job at nowhere. Somebody got credentials, worked hard, all this education, escaped all that time in the projects, never been in trouble, and now I'm a full-fledged grown man with a family with a felony conviction and can't get a job. What do I do now? First thing I did, my grandma at that time was in a nursing home. I said, Grandma, why me? She said, why not you, baby? She said, you got to understand the power where you going, boy. I said, you got to be kidding me. I left right there and got me a bottle. But I now understand what she was saying, what she was trying to get me, that there was a force stronger than what I was dealing with right now. That the next time, if you get yourself together, you can still get back on track again. First thing she looked at me and said, put that bottle down, boy. See, my whole family were alcoholics. My great-grandfather, my father, alcoholics. My mother, my grandmother, even my grandmother. She lived to be 84 years old, and she was an alcoholic. First thing she said to me, why not? Put that bottle down, then you can start thinking clearly. Of course, I thought about it, but I still want to get high, you know. So I'm almost done, but you guys, the transition and the transformation goes. We lose people in the run. And so I couldn't get a job. So guess what I started doing? This is how you become creative. This is how the creative mind works when you become in sync with the higher power. Because when you want to do good and try to do something, the universe embraces you. And so the things that you didn't know you could do, you find a way. So what I said, tell your story. You had a lot to happen. Write a book. What? Me? Some of you all got books in here, bestsellers. You think your story won't be helpful, but it would. So I sat down and wrote a book. I said, what am I going to call this book? How about overcoming obstacles? You went through some obstacles, you overcame them. Why not write about it? Sat in my garage, couldn't get a job in the hot garage, and typed up, I don't know how many pages, got somebody to look at it, and got a book finished. I said, you have got to be kidding me. I am on the road. And I put that stuff down. So I couldn't work. So guess what I did? Got in my car, ordered 500 books at a time, stood on the corner at Wawa's, Walmart, parking lot, 17th Street, Southeast, everywhere people walk, I sold these books. I left the house every single day and said, you know what? I'm going to sell 20 books a day at $10, make me $200 a day. 7 days a week, that's $1,400. Now, sometimes it took me 18 to 20 hours a day to make that $200, but I didn't come home until I had it because I couldn't work. People saw me out. House arrest back then, I don't know how they do it now. They let you out for so many hours a day. They let me out. I had not the GPS, the little monitor thing at the house. So you could get somebody sign where you been, but you got 16 hours, I think it was back then. You had to be home at a certain time. So I was rocking and rolling. I was late one day, police come right behind me. I hear them coming. The thing going off at the house. But I had my money. So my point to make is, it's not where you guys are going to start, it's where you're going. So then I said, you know what? That book did so well. Let me write another book because somebody got to know about my alcohol abuse. Somebody got to know about being in incarceration. Somebody got to know about all the things that happened to me because I know people have similar and even worse situations. So I wrote this book. So now I'm thinking, wow, I'm on to something. And that's when I began talking about and putting together what I call a Transformers Academy. And a Transformers Academy, anyone can be a Transformer. You're Transformers in the making. Just got to get rid of some little things that's in the way. See, I couldn't be a Transformer until I got rid of some critical things that were keeping me back. Alcohol. I went in treatment twice. I had my wife drive me over the first time in Nova Hospital. She took me over. Some of y'all may have been, this is my last drink. This weekend. I'm going to wait till Sunday go in. Monday, I think I went up. When most people go in, most crowd, you go in detox. I'm lit up. Stayed in 5 days, came out, took the medicine. A week later, this ain't for me. I got to drink. Why you gonna waste your time in there? Then about 6 months later, I said, you know, enough is enough. You know how you say that? Enough, I am done. It's done. I done ran people away. Thank God she didn't run with the kids. I'm gonna go this time. I drove myself over there. 4 or 5 months later, bringing them in. Because the pain was still there. So what I want to encourage you all today is, as we begin to wrap up, is think about 3 things and write this down, put it on your iPad, note card, matches, discipline, desire, and dedication. Having the desire so bad to rid an addiction that you can't even sleep because you got to have the desire to do it. Wanting to do it. I ain't stopped drinking till I finally looked in the mirror, 60 pounds heavy, and said, you know what, you got to let this go. You are self-destructing. If you don't let this go now, you're going to die. I'm riding up and down Southern Maryland with liquor cups full of vodka, smoking cigars. Can't tell me there's now how power looked out for me. Got stopped one time by the Maryland police. No one reason why he ain't smell it, because I was smoking one of them fat cigars. I was drunk as Cootie Brown. Putting myself in danger and the people on the street, because I could have killed somebody by drunk driving. Never got a DUI. Thank you. I ain't boasting about it, but someone was looking over me, just like someone is looking over you. Desire, burning desire to stop. Discipline enough to do the things that you have to do to fulfill them. If it means going to the meetings, getting around a better crowd, whatever it's going to take, working out. And dedication, staying with it, being persistent, consistent, staying the course. Don't quit, don't start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. Every time a crisis come up, you want to drink, get high. That's what I did, not you. And finally putting it down. And when you finally put it down, you'll find transformation is in the beginning. I hope you guys continue to, I encourage you to stay strong, stay peaceful, stay prayed, whomever your higher power or spirit is, because I can tell you right now, relying on man, you're going to come short every time. And if you'll do that, desire, have the discipline, and dedicate your life to cleanliness, the doors of the universe will become open for you. All right, take any questions now? I'll cut it off. Just stop. All right, take any questions or comments now? Just pull it down. Pull it down, you'll say stop.
I got it.
Okay, good. Any questions or comments? I appreciate you guys.